Hello, and welcome to Word Warehouse. In today's lesson, we're going to learn the irregular verb tell. Tell is one of the most common verbs in English, and you'll hear it in many everyday expressions and situations. We'll look at its three forms, some useful structures, and common expressions. Let's get started. The verb forms tell, told, told.
Tell means to give information to someone, to communicate something to a person, or to give someone an instruction. Its most common structure is tell plus someone, plus something. For example, tell me the truth. Tell someone something. She told me the news. Tell me.
I'll tell you later.
With tell, we normally mention the person who receives the information. For example, I don't know the answer. Can you tell me the answer? Tell us. Tell us what happened. Tell us everything. Tell us can also be used when we invite someone to share their ideas, opinions, thoughts, experiences, or feedback. Tell us what you think. Tell us your opinion. Can you tell us what you saw? She told us everything. One of the most common expressions with tell is, tell the truth. For example, please tell me the truth. I always tell the truth. She told the truth about what happened. We can also say, tell the whole truth. In courtroom scenes, you may hear, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? We also use tell with lies. For example, he told me a lie about the party. We can also say, lie to someone. He told me he wasn't going to the party, but he went anyway. He lied to me. We use tell with stories. For example, my grandfather used to tell me stories when I was a child.
Tell me a story.
My mom told me a bedtime story every night when I was a child. She told a funny story at dinner. We also say, tell a joke. For example, he told a funny joke. I usually tell a joke to break the ice when I meet new people. Another very useful expression is, tell the difference. It means to recognize how two or more things are different. For example, can you tell the difference between these two pictures? Tell the time. We also use tell when we talk about knowing or saying what time it is. For example, can you tell me the time? We can use tell someone about something. For example, she told me about her new job. I told him about the problem. He told us about his trip to Italy. Another very useful structure is tell someone to plus verb. For example, he told his son to be careful. My grandmother always tells me to be very careful. The doctor told me to get some rest. We can also use the negative. He told us not to touch anything. He told me not to worry. We can use tell plus someone plus that when giving information. For example, I told her that I would call later. For example, she told me that she was tired. In everyday English, we can often leave out that. She told me she was tired.
Different verb forms. She tells me everything. I'm telling you the truth.
He told us what happened. He had already told me that story. He had told me about the problem before the meeting. I've never told a joke in public. Useful expressions. Tell me. This can simply mean, give me the information. Tell me what happened.
Tell me about it. This expression can also mean that you completely understand or agree with what someone has just said. For example, it's been a really stressful week. Tell me about it. Here, it means something like, I know exactly what you mean. I told you so. We use this expression when something happens that we predicted or warned someone about. For example, you should have taken an umbrella.
I know.
I told you so.
It can sometimes sound a little annoying or smug, so be careful when you use it.
I told you so. I knew this would happen. Now you know how to use tell, told, and told. Remember some of the most useful expressions. Tell the truth. Tell a lie. Tell a story. Tell a joke. Tell the difference. Tell the time. Tell someone about something. Tell someone to do something. Keep practicing these expressions, and you'll soon feel more confident using this very common irregular verb. See you in the next lesson.